My name is Amina, and I live in Lagos. If you know Lagos, you know it's a city that never sleeps. The streets? Always buzzing with noise, car horns, traders shouting their wares, and that unmistakable smell of roasted corn wafting through the air. Every single morning, I tie my geli, wrap my faded ankara around my waist, and then help my little brother, Sul, into his old wooden wheelchair. Life isn't easy for us, not by a long shot, but we keep on moving. I really want to tell you about the day everything changed. The day I found out that kindness can be a bit scary, but wow, can it also be powerful. It was right at the start of the rainy season. The sky was that heavy gray, and puddles were already filling up the potholes on our street. You know how it is. I was pushing Sul to the market, trying to weave our way through all the okadas and busy traders. My head was just full of worries. How are we going to buy enough food? How will I pay for Sul's medicine? How can I stop Mama from crying herself to sleep at night? As we passed the corner near the old church, I saw her, Mama Ngozi. She was sitting on a low stool, her back all bent, and her wrapper was patched in so many places. Her hands were shaking as she tried to light her little charcoal stove. People just walked right past her, like she wasn't even there. Some even laughed, calling her witch, because her eyes looked a bit strange. But then I remembered what Mama always used to tell me. Amina, she'd say, never turn away from someone who needs help. You just never know who God might send to test your heart. So I stopped. I greeted her in Yoruba. Ikaro Mama. She looked up, and you could see the surprise on her face. Her eyes were tired, so tired, but she smiled. I helped her get her stove lit, and bought 2 pieces of corn. Even though I barely had any money on me, she just squeezed my hand and whispered, "Thank you, my child. May kindness always find its way to you." That night, the rain was hammering down on our zinc roof. I heard this strange noise outside. My heart started to thump. I peeked through a crack in the window, and there she was, Mama Ngozi, standing right out in the pouring rain, her wrapper completely soaked. She called my name, so softly. My heart was pounding like crazy. Lagos isn't safe at night, especially when the rain falls like that. Strange things can happen, but I couldn't forget her trembling hands from earlier, and her blessing. So, I opened the door. She handed me a small carved calabash. "This is for your brother," she said. "Boil water in it and let him drink. But remember, Amina, kindness is a circle. What you give always comes back." Before I could even ask what she meant, she was gone, just like that, swallowed up by the rain and the darkness. I did exactly what she told me. I boiled water in that little calabash and gave it to Sul. The very next morning, he woke up with a bit more strength. And then, for the first time in years, he moved his legs. Just a little, but he moved them. Mama cried, but this time, they were tears of joy. Our neighbors even came over to see the miracle for themselves. But then, almost as quickly, strange things started happening. I'd see shadows moving outside our window at night. Sul began having these dreams about a woman in white, calling him to walk. I started to panic a bit. Had I brought something dangerous into our home? Or was this the answer to all my prayers? I'd lie awake for hours, just watching Sul sleep, with that carved calabash right beside his bed, and the city rain still falling outside. My heart felt like a drum, beating with this rhythm of fear and hope. What had I done? And what on earth was I supposed to do next to protect my family? The whispers didn't stop. They actually got louder, more insistent. Some of our neighbors, the same ones who'd initially celebrated Sul's progress, now looked at us with suspicion in their eyes. They said the calabash was juju, that we'd made some kind of dark pact. Suddenly, food from our pot was being politely refused at compound gatherings. My friends from the market started keeping their distance. Loneliness became a pretty regular visitor in our home. Then, one evening, a small group of elders from the community, led by this stern-faced man named Baba Iko, showed up at our door. Mama stood right beside me, her face a mask of worried strength. Sul sat on his mat, watching them with wide, curious eyes. He could now take a few steps with a crutch I'd managed to make for him. Amina, Baba Iko began, his voice heavy. We've heard things about this miraculous healing, about the old woman, Mama Ngozi, and a certain calabash. He paused, and his gaze was so sharp. Some people are saying it's an unnatural blessing, that it might bring a curse upon our whole community if the source isn't pure. My blood ran cold. A curse. All because of an act of kindness? Because of a gift? It was a gift, Baba, I managed to say, my voice shaking but firm. Mama Ngozi helped us. My brother. He's getting better. Gifts from women like that often come with a price, child. Another elder muttered. A price that might be far too high. Baba Iko held up his hand. We're not here to accuse anyone, but to understand, and to protect our community. There are stories, old stories about spirits that offer healing, only to demand something precious in return much later. He looked straight at Sul. The boy seems well for now, but we have to be sure. And then came the test. If this healing is pure, Baba Iko declared, then it will withstand the light of God. We will take the calabash to the church. The pastor will pray over it. If it's from a dark source, it will be revealed. If it's pure, then your blessing is true, and we will all rejoice with you. My heart was hammering against my ribs. The calabash, what if it shattered, or just turned to dust? What if they were right? What if my act, something born out of compassion, had unknowingly put Sul, or even our whole community, in danger? Mama Ngozi's words echoed in my mind. Kindness is a circle. What you give comes back. Was this the circle coming back with a challenge? I looked at Sul. He smiled at me, such a brave, trusting smile. He'd been so full of hope lately. I just couldn't let that hope be snuffed out by fear. Okay, I whispered, my voice barely audible. Take it. I fetched the small, carved calabash. Its surface felt smooth and cool under my trembling fingers. It felt so much heavier than usual, like it was laden with all my hopes and all my fears. This was it, the moment of truth. The next day felt like the longest day of my entire life. Mama and I just waited, our hands clasped tightly together, while Baba Iko and the elders took the calabash to the old church up on the hill. Sul, you could tell he sensed the tension, was very quiet, just clutching that white feather I'd found. The rain had finally stopped, but the air was still thick with humidity and all those unspoken anxieties. Hours crawled by. The sun began to set, painting the Lagos sky with these beautiful hues of orange and purple. Just as dusk was settling in, we heard footsteps approaching. It was Baba Iko, and with him was the pastor from the church. My breath caught in my throat. Baba Iko's stern face was different. It looked softer. He held the calabash in his hands, offering it back to me. Amina, my child, he said, and his voice was so gentle. The pastor prayed. The entire church prayed. And the calabash, it is blessed. The pastor stepped forward, a kind smile on his face. Young woman, he said, what you received was an act of profound grace. There's no darkness in this. Only the reflection of the purity of your own heart when you showed kindness to someone in need. Mama Ngozi, wherever she is, was simply a vessel for a greater good. Relief washed over me so intensely, I thought my knees would buckle. Mama wept openly. Tears of gratitude this time, not sorrow. Sul let out a little whoop of joy, dropping the feather as he tried to stand up even taller. The pastor continued. Some of us knew Mama Ngozi. A solitary woman, yes, but one who carried no malice. Perhaps she was testing the heart of the city, and you, Amina, you were the one who passed. Then he said something that really stuck with me. Often, blessings come in unfamiliar packages. It's faith that unwraps them, not fear. That night, it was like the shadows outside our window had finally receded. The whispers in the compound died down, replaced by murmurs of awe and respect. Neighbors who had shunned us now came by with small gifts of food, their faces alight with renewed friendship. They saw Sul taking more confident steps each day, his laughter echoing freely. The fear that had clung to me like the damp, rainy season air finally lifted, replaced by this deep, profound sense of peace. The kindness I had shown really had come back, not as a trial, but as a beautiful confirmation. Life started to change in ways I'd never even dared to dream about. With the community's acceptance back, and the story of Sul's incredible recovery spreading, good things just began to happen. A local philanthropist, who was really moved by our story after hearing it from the pastor, offered to fund Sul's complete medical care and physiotherapy. Doctors confirmed that with continued therapy, Sul would walk, run, and play just like any other child. That old wooden wheelchair was soon folded away, just a relic of a past struggle. And that same philanthropist, impressed by my devotion and, as he put it, my articulate way of speaking when I shared our story, offered me a scholarship. Me, Amina, who used to worry about just buying enough food, was now being given the chance to finish my education, to actually build a future. Mama found better work. Her spirit was so much lighter, and her smile was always there. Our small room didn't feel cramped anymore. It felt full of love, hope, and the quiet hum of dreams finally taking flight. I never saw Mama Ngozi again. Sometimes, I'd walk by that corner near the old church, half expecting to see her bent over her charcoal stove. But her place was always empty. Yet, her presence was still there. I felt it in Sul's joyous shouts as he kicked a football in the yard, in the new books I carried to school, and in the peace that had settled in Mama's eyes. She was a reminder that sometimes, angels wear patched wrappers and have tired eyes. The carved calabash sat on our small shelf, no longer an object of fear or suspicion, but a symbol. A symbol that even in a bustling, often indifferent city like Lagos, a single act of compassion can ripple outwards, touching lives, healing wounds, and changing destinies forever. My life and Sul's were living proof of that. We learned that kindness isn't just some gentle word. It's a force, a powerful one, strong enough to move mountains, or in our case, to help a little brother walk and open doors to a future brighter than the Lagos sun itself. If Amina's story touched your heart, how about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing for more tales of hope and human connection? We'd love it if you shared the story with someone who believes in the power of kindness. And tell us, what acts of kindness, big or small, have made a difference in your life or in the lives of others? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, just like Mama Ngozi said, kindness truly is a circle. What you give, no matter how small it might seem, always finds its way back, often in the most unexpected and beautiful ways. Thanks so much for watching.